Hi YouTube, this is Fedora or Sega Story 94, coming to you with my 5-month surgiversary. I didn't do my 4-month. The surgiversary dates tend to go by me without me noticing. I had my surgery on June 4th, 2013, and today is November 4th, 2013. So it's exactly 5 months for me. Let's do my numbers. My highest weight was 275. That was in mid-January of 2013, where I got the shocking news that I was 25 pounds away from 300, which was scary. I proceeded to go on a weight loss journey on my own. I was doing the JJ Virgin diet. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that. But I was doing that and exercise as best I could, while being limited, very limited. But I keep saying I lost 22 pounds, and I was like, wait a minute, these numbers are not adding up. I actually lost 29 pounds together on my own and with the liquid diet. It was altogether 29 pounds. And so surgery day, I was 246, and last week I was 175. And all this week, I've been bouncing between 175 and 179. Yes, that is 4 pounds up and down, up and down. This morning I was 178, and I've been in a panic over this because I know what it is. It's Halloween candy. Milk chocolate, to be more exact. I have no problems with dark chocolate. I eat, a couple squares or whatever, and I'm just fine. But milk chocolate, especially if it's around that time of the month, I get crazy. And of course, Halloween landed right at that time. So I have been eating little bite size or fun size candy bars, and I have managed to get myself all out of whack. Not only is my weight just yo-yoing up and down, but I'm feeling dizzy because I have blood sugar issues that for some reason I thought had gone away, but they're still there if I do sugar. So I'm trying to get myself away from that. Of course, I have 6 children, and they all have candy. And one of mine has a milk allergy, tree nuts and peanuts. So everything he got in his bag that he couldn't eat, I took. So finally, yesterday, I divided up between my 2 oldest sons and just gave it to them because it was just, whew, I just can't, I couldn't leave it alone. So anyway, my weight's going all over the place, and it really is a good life lesson or journey lesson for me because, pretty much I've had a little gain here and there, but I haven't really wanted to eat all that much of anything until now. And this milk chocolate is just like, I don't know, I can eat it with no problem. It doesn't make me sick. I mean, it is just bizarre, so I just really have to get really serious about that. So I have notes here because I'm going to babble otherwise. Food, I talked about the Halloween candy. I have a sweets issue. I always have had a sweets issue. So I know that that's something I have to really be conscious of. Fortunately, like I used to have a bread issue, but bread is really difficult for me. It makes me feel really, really bad. So I don't have so much an issue with bread. Potatoes, I don't have a big issue with that. Rice, I still do. I love rice. So I have to really be careful with that. Even brown rice, I tend to get really weird feeling. So quinoa, of course, doesn't feel like that, but then I don't tend to crave quinoa. So go figure. Protein, I'm still struggling with protein and water. And why is it that the thing that you really need is the thing that makes you sick? And I don't know, but that's how it is for me. I feel really sick. I don't know. I have to eat it very slowly, and it's not the thing I go for. On a dinner plate, the thing that I go for is still the veggies. whether they be cooked or fresh. That's what I crave. I just crave the veggies. So I have to really get my protein in. I am not drinking protein drinks because they make me totally sick. I've struggled with that the whole time. So I'm really, and sorry for saying I'm going to keep saying that too. I'm really struggling with that. I'm struggling with water as well. I do good some days. You know, some days I get in quite a bit because I find that I'm very, very thirsty. But other days, excuse me. Whew. Other days I really struggle. I just seem to have to really convince myself to drink. And I don't really drink anything else except for coffee because I'm busy saying, okay, I've got to get my water in. I'm not going to really drink anything else unless I drink water. And so then I used to like put a little bit of like one of those sugar-free mixes in it. But then I really just got really involved with the tea and peach tea and stuff like that. And I wasn't drinking any water at all. So I'm just going back and forth, you know. So I just really, 5 months out, and here I am, still talking about the same stuff. Anyway, I want to talk about the mental struggle. Sleep for Life and a few others have been talking about it lately, about that mental struggle. And that's something that I've had off and on from the beginning. The strangest thing is, even though now I can see that I'm smaller, I can finally see it. And I can finally, I think especially when I'm buying size 10s and medium, I'm still medium tops because of my big, I don't know, it's not really, I guess it's a muffin top roll or whatever, but it's mostly skin. But so I'm buying size 10s and they fit me well with a little bit of room in the waist. I started really understanding, okay, this is what I'm really smaller. You know, I am really smaller, and I can look down at my thighs and I'm like, they look really small to me. So that's really neat to get over that. But this past week I started going through this thing in my head where I was missing being a big woman. And I know that sounds strange, but all of my adult life, I've been plus size. You know, I'm still considered plus size, I think, at a size 10, but it's smaller than I've ever been as an adult. The smallest I ever was as an adult was a 12, and that was when I was 18, 19, around there. By the time I was 20, 21, I was a 14, and I just went up from there. So it's totally new ground for me, and suddenly I started feeling like I was missing being a plus size woman, and I was missing being one of the big girls, you know. That sounds really strange to hear myself say it, but that's how I felt, you know. And Lessa Sarah was saying how she realized that her idea of beauty was always the curvy girls. And I started thinking about that, and it's like, that's how I've always been. And I don't know if it's because I knew that I'm always towards that size of woman myself, or if that's just what I feel is good looking. But you know, I'll be out and about and I'll see a woman that's like one of the sizes I've been, you know, anywhere from like basically a 22, 18, 20 is a size that I really identify with. Most of my life I would settle at an 18, 20, and I found myself really missing that. And even when I'm buying clothes, gravitating towards those sizes. So that was, it's been, and I found like a sadness inside of me, like just really missing being that size. It's really strange. I know, but that's just the way I've been feeling. So I think I'm starting to come around a little bit. But I was talking to one of my friends, and I'm going to take the reflection of my glasses is bothering me. And, you know, a lot of people around me now that need to lose weight say a lot of things like, I know I need to lose weight, and you look so good. And I said to one of my friends, I said, you know, I don't think thin is the only idea of beauty, For me, that's not the point, and I think a lot of people don't get that, that for some reason, for some people, bigger size is not ugly, So um to that your motivation, like some people, it really does bother them. They identify themselves more with a thin person. They feel better as a thin person. That's what their idea of beauty is, and that is okay too, because that's their idea of beauty. But for some people like me, that's not my idea of beauty. And it's not that I don't think I look good now and I don't enjoy buying those small sizes, because I mean, face it, we live in a society where that is touted as like the best of the best. Like the smaller your size, the better it is. But I was really telling her, I said, watch your motivation, do you feel healthy? Do you feel, why do you need to lose weight? And really ask yourself those questions first, because if it's just a looks thing, you're going to be shocked that you still carry your same self inside your mind. You still carry that self with you no matter what size you are. You still carry that. And so you are who you are regardless of what your outside looks like. And so it's just really important to work on the inside. I know a lot of us have said this, I've said it myself, but it's really important to work on the inside of yourself and really get straight those things those issues that you may have about yourself, negative issues about yourself, and really be nice to yourself. Really practice being nice to yourself, because if you're not nice to yourself now, you're not going to be nice to yourself when you're thinner. It's just going to be a constant picking yourself apart and finding mean things to say about yourself. And so that's where I am with the mental thing. And then, of course, with ongoing stress, the more I'm stressed out, the more I eat, or the more I want to eat. And you just because you can't eat it doesn't mean you don't want to eat it, And I hadn't thrown up in a couple of weeks. I think like about a week and a half. It was like, it's been my longest stretch, and then I just threw up yesterday. And it was just because I wasn't hungry, but it was time to eat. Well, no, that's not what it was. I was very hungry because I hadn't eaten properly. And so then when I went to eat, it was like my sleeve was angry. And so then I couldn't eat. So I threw up. But it really wasn't bad. It was like a pork steak, but it had barbecue sauce on it. And I think that barbecue sauce had too much vinegar or something. Anyway, I threw up. And it just kind of brought back to mind how far I've come, and where I don't want to go back to. So I really, food has been a big issue this week, and it hasn't been a big issue since my surgery, as far as like eating the wrong things or eating too much or whatever. So, gain, so we talked about me having the gain. Tomorrow is my official update, so I'll weigh myself tomorrow and see, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be 3 to 4 pounds up from what I was last week. So, yeah, that's a big deal. Oh, I forgot to talk about seasonal affective disorder. I have seasonal affective disorder. I have had it since I was 13. So here in the Midwest, especially, this is the time of year that I start really dealing with my depression, less sunlight, all that kind of thing. And then on top of that, I'm on chemotherapy for my RA, so I can't like sit under a lamp, and I have to be careful. So it's like this huge dilemma. So I really have to keep an eye on that too, to make sure that I'm keeping my mind in a good place. So with this gain this week, I started thinking about when it's time to declare a goal and when it's time to maintain. Like, I really have to make sure I'm in the right place for that. And so I really want to start thinking about that, thinking about strategies, thinking about realistic, a goal that I can really maintain, And how will I maintain that? And I don't think it's too early for me to start thinking about that.